so this is a part 2, man. This is awesome that we get one of the best hitters of my generation that I got a chance to watch. Not only that, 9-time Gold Glover, Don Mattingly is in the building. How you doing, sir?
Good, man. How are you?
Great, great, great. So the last time I didn't ask you this, but let's have some fun here.
All right.
You remember your first hit?
Yes.
Do you remember your first home run?
Yes.
You did that against one team, ironically.
Boston.
Okay, do you remember who you got your first hit against?
A guy named Brown. I think it was Mark Brown, maybe.
Steve Crawford.
Who?
It's Steve Crawford. It says
okay.
Steve Crawford.
Yeah.
And Brown was the home run, I believe.
No, Tudor. John Tudor.
John Tudor, okay.
John
okay.
Tudor.
Okay, that's good.
Crawford. Yeah, I faced him in the minor league. I do remember that. I think I rolled one in the hole, a little weak roller in the hole, but felt good to get that one. But I remember the guy that I got it off in, that I'd faced in the minor leagues, I think in Paul Tuckett maybe that year.
I like that. So, just you play with some great teammates, right? And I'm pretty sure you've been asked this, but I got to ask you. You went through a final season of baseball, not final season, but like 1984, I'm sorry. Dave Winfield and you were going for the batting title. Y'all on the same team.
Yeah.
What was that like? And just, you ended up getting that batting title. Was there like a fun, obviously, conversation like, hey man, I'm going to get this, or maybe he thought he was going to get it, but how was that just to be able to compete against a guy like Dave Winfield, who a lot of people don't realize is one of the greatest, not only just sort of baseball players, athletes, period.
Yeah, it was a great experience for me. Yeah, I think it was a lot better for me maybe than for Dave. Dave was a veteran, I was a young kid, my kind of first full season, so probably a lot easier on me, just because I didn't really have anything to lose. I remember how great Dave was to me. He never made me feel uncomfortable at any time during that time, and we've been friends, ever since. And so it was a great experience. Just kind of, I was hitting 330 late in the year, and my first full season, so I was like, what really could go wrong?
I love that. You're a baseball lifer, and I got to ask you this. You competed against like Vlad Sr. Now you're a part of this staff that has Vlad Jr. Just knowing that you're able to see generations of baseball and just seeing how the maturation of Vlad Jr. Can you talk about that and just what's the potential for him to be not only the great player he is, but just going forward?
No, Junior has a world of talent, and last year was probably a little down year for him. But it was still, above league average type year. But this year has been another level. In today's game, a guy that's, hitting close to 30 homers, hitting close to 330, driving in 100 runs, that just doesn't happen very often. There's a few guys, and they're all elite, and Vlad is one of those guys. So it's been really fun to watch him. I remember seeing Vlad at Angel Stadium, and his dad was like before a game or BP or whatever, was throwing balls to him and just like firing balls at him, and he was hitting them. And I was like, man, my kids I'd have been lobbing it up to him. His dad was just firing at him.
I love that. You talked about just the numbers that he's putting up, and I got to ask you this. We're probably witnessing some more history this year, right, with a certain player, Shohei Ohtani. He's already on that 40-40 thing, but we're talking about maybe 50-50 possibilities. Just in your opinion, as a guy that has won batting titles, done everything at the highest level possible, seeing a guy be able to do that like that, what is your opinion on that?
Yeah, Shohei's like another level. It really is. I mean, just watching him play, and for as big as he is and how much power he has, to have that kind of speed, it's really amazing watching him play. He's fun to watch, and we haven't even talked about the pitching side of it, which is another aspect to him. But to do what he's doing is incredible. It's fun to watch. It's not necessarily fun to compete against because you got to deal with it. But he's a truly generational player.
I like that. So obviously back to, you being one of the best hitters of my generation, I could say. If you had to do a starting 5 rotation of the toughest pitchers that you face, who would be your 5?
Well, Randy Johnson was never any fun.
Okay.
I might have all lefties in this lineup too.
Okay.
Mark Langston was probably my toughest guy to deal with. I feel like he just given me so many different looks. He was one of those guys. A guy named Matt Young, who was half wild. but had nasty stuff and a nasty slider. I didn't face him that much, but like he was zero fun to face.
Okay. 2 more.
I need 2 more lefties, huh? All right, could be anybody. I always loved facing Roger. I felt like that was a guy I liked facing because Roger was coming after you. And so it was a challenge, and that was fun for me. So Roger would be on that.
Okay.
There's probably so many that I forget. Another guy that I didn't like facing that much was Flanagan with Baltimore. Or I could throw Tippy Martinez into that too. Another nasty breaking ball. But Flanagan can give you a lot of looks. He'd run the ball at you, big curve ball, shorten the curve ball. I didn't face him that much, but he was a guy that wasn't that comfortable at bat.
I like that. So the scouting report is to get lefties. For my all-time hitter, the lefty thing was that. Okay, I like that. Last question. When we talk about hitters, obviously, like I said, for my generation, it was you, a guy like Tony Gwynn. Just pure hitters. Guys that, you probably could have hit the 30 if you focused on that, hitting 30 to 40 home runs, but you were really about contact and making a meaningful hit. Can you talk about just looking across the way and seeing a guy like Tony Gwynn, some guys that were just like walking hits, literally just walking hits, and what Luis Arraez is doing now at his level?
Yeah, Luis is a lot like Tony. I felt like he just kind of hits it everywhere. You got to kind of throw Boggs into that category, who was just a tough out, always good at bats. For me, like one of my guys to watch, and I see him at the end of his career, and Rod Carew was a guy that I love watching hit. And what you may not think of, like a Cecil Cooper, was another guy that I really loved the way he hit. Kind of did everything, hit for power, hit for average, was a tough out. And you kind of go on and on. There's some really good ones out there, like Chipper Jones, and just so many good ones. You forget half of the great ones. You can just keep coming too, right?
Yeah.
Because over the years you keep coming. You see Manny Ramirez and Edgar Martinez. To me, was incredible hitter. Molitor, that group, him and Yount were both guys that were really good hitters. Shoot, I could go on. You keep naming teams, I'll keep naming hitters.
I like that. I do have one last question, and this is a simple answer for you. If you can go back, we put you in a time machine before your time, or even if we put you in today's baseball world, in your prime, who was the one pitcher that you never faced that you would want to face in your prime?
Who would I want to face?
You know what we'll do before you started playing, so think about players before that time and now today's generation. 2 guys.
2 guys. The guy that I did face, but I probably would have been like, I didn't face this guy. I guess Gibson would be one.
Bob Gibson, okay.
Bob Gibson, I met Bob, so and I hear the stories, but I don't know if I would like facing him, but I would like the challenge of facing him.
Okay.
That would be great. Like to face today, I don't know, man. There's some guys with great stuff out there, but even a guy like, I'm going to take the guy across the field like DeGrom.
I like that.
When I watch him pitch, it's fun to watch. It's power.
You had to compete against that, yeah.
And he's
magic against him, yeah.
Yeah, and he's challenged. It's just paint. So, facing a guy like that would be fun because you know what you're kind of getting, but it's almost like I'm going to beat you to the spot. And if you find that spot, then I got some other weapons for you. But he's going to make you be able to hit that spot before he has to move on.
I like that. Well, once again, this is part 2 of this. I love interviewing this guy because it's a lot of baseball history. It makes my day, makes a lot of baseball fans' day. I appreciate you.
Gotcha.
We'll be talking again soon now. Thank you so much.
All right, next year.
Thank you.